do our job, make big holes, tackle the headed bastard. We go home and drink some beer, we party. Let's go!
Hey, let's go everyone. Welcome to Seth's Smorgasbord of Sports here at 51 West Studios. Got a really special guest here with me today. Got my buddy Garrett Hess, and we're going to talk about NFL division rankings and who we think is going to go to the playoffs.
Oh, jeez, how you doing, man?
How you doing, man?
Man, I feel like I'm about to take an exam over here. Hopefully it goes better than the last one I took.
I feel
So we're going to talk some division rankings?
Yeah, we're going to talk about our division rankings today. So we're going to start off with the North, and we're going to do South, East, West, and then move on to the playoffs and Super Bowl. So
sounds good to me.
Let's dive into it, dude. So let's start with the AFC North. Like, that's a pretty interesting division. You know, my Ravens are in it.
Well, how about we just start from the bottom up? I think that might be the best way to go.
All right. I feel it's a fourth place.
I think we're probably both about on the same page. I mean,
I got the Bengals in fourth.
I think we both are pretty much on the same page with the Bengals.
Yeah, I think most people would put the Bengals in fourth place right now. I mean, they
might turn around and surprise some people. I mean, you don't know anything with the new head coach and everything like that. I mean, they've been the same team pretty much for the last 15, 16 years under Lewis.
I agree.
Who knows? Maybe that's what they needed was some young infusion, but until I see anything else, I can't really put them any higher.
Yeah, they're a proven commodity with Marvin Lewis and the fact that they were pretty lame. And Andy Dalton and AJ Green definitely have a spark. And this guy's a Sean McVay disciple. You know, he's a quarterback coach in Los Angeles who's their head coach now. He's a young guy. But I got to see something before I roll with them any higher than fourth place, right?
Yeah. Speaking of which, I need to learn how to either cut McVay's hair or trim his lawn or something, because apparently if you know him, you're getting a head coaching job nowadays.
I agree.
It really doesn't take much.
For real, I'll shine Sean McVay's shoes if I can get an NFL head coaching job, but you know.
Just say you used to sit at his lunch table at high school or something, and I'm sure you'll at least get an interview, am I right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's go up to third place in the AFC North. Who you got rocking with third place?
I think there's going to be some controversy here, and I don't think they're going to be that bad, but I just don't see the Steelers finishing better than third with all the upgrades that the Browns have made this past offseason, and I know it's early and there's a lot of egos, but I just don't see on paper.
I agree.
But they're not going to flop.
They won't flop. They'll probably hang around 500, but there's just a lot of
They're too good of an organization, though. They're not ever going to be one of those teams. They're run too well.
Yeah.
You're not going to see them with those 3-win, 4-win teams.
I hate them, but I respect them. You know,
their floor is 7-9. I don't think I've ever that I can remember them going worse than that. I mean, maybe 1 year here and there, but
1 year after they won the Super Bowl, they went 8-8.
Yeah,
and that's seriously as bad as I can. The Steelers are always pretty competitive, and even though they lost Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, I just can't say that they're going to be terrible. You know, I think that James Conner and Juju Smith-Schuster will put up some stats.
It's really just going to matter if somebody can step up behind Juju, so take a little bit off of him. Because I don't have any doubt in the world that he can't be a number one receiver.
There's just going to be a lot of pressure on him this year.
And he's going to realize being double teamed is completely different when you have AB all over the field just taking everybody's eyes, at least for a second. So.
That's true. Very, very, very true. So, I mean, he's a very talented receiver, but can he carry the load of an entire team on his back with just James Conner? Because James Conner, I know, is first year last year, but that's a lot to expect him to do for his second year in a row.
Yeah. Speaking of which, another move that I did like, though, when they traded up in the draft, I did like that they traded up 10 spots to get to that 10th pick and got Devin Bush. I think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, he's definitely
he was probably my number 2 ranked linebacker coming out this year's draft.
He's definitely a talented player.
He flies. I
think the Steelers will still be competitive, but
I do too.
I agree. I think we both have the same second place team as well. I think our whole AFC North is the same.
I think it's probably shaping out to be about the same.
And we got the Browns rocking in second, right?
Yeah. And talent-wise, I think that they might be top 5 in the NFL. It's just I haven't seen anything yet, and they're also young. I mean,
there's a lot of freaking personalities there.
That's the main thing. There's
a lot of plus it's Cleveland. Until they show me something that's besides a losing culture, until they develop some sort of winning culture there, then
it was less than a year ago. I remember they were almost throwing a parade because they got their first win at
I remember when they went 0-16, they had a parade. They just really have to show. I don't care who they have. I don't care if Odell Beckham's or whoever. They went 7-8-1 last year. I'm not picking them to win the AFC North when the Ravens have such a talented defense.
It's just a young,
talented running game. You know, they're stacked at tight end position. I mean, I think the Ravens aren't going to be the world beaters. I don't think they'll be the best team in the AFC, but I think there's definitely a lot of talent there. Even though they have a tough schedule, I think the defense will keep them afloat.
I don't necessarily have them making a wild card, but I can see a situation playing out where they're definitely in it till the end of the year.
And you mean the Browns?
Yeah, the
I got
Browns.
you.
Yeah, where they could definitely be. Last 2 weeks where they're fighting for a playoff spot, I think they just
Oh yeah, I think
fall
they'll
a
be
little short.
competitive.
And I think
They'll probably beat the Ravens once and give us.
My biggest thing is it's all high and mighty now. I want to see how they look when things aren't going great.
Yeah, exactly. When they start,
They
off
have a
1 and
bad
3 or
game
something.
and somebody arguing like, "Oh, you should have thrown me the ball more." Like that's when like these egos. I kind of want to see if
Exactly.
Kitchens can kind of wrangle all this in.
I agree because he's a first-year head coach, correct?
Yeah.
So I mean, like their offense last year was their offensive coordinator, right? So I mean, I think they had a good offensive system, especially when Greg Williams took over. But that's what puzzles me is Greg Williams did so well in his interim job last year. I think they really should have retained him. So they're a lot of people are really high on the Browns right now, but I just don't think they're the team to roll with in the AFC North.
No, not till I see more.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of which, I'm sure you're gonna be happy to hear this that I got the Ravens taking the division. I don't think it's gonna be a runaway. I think it's probably gonna be about a 10-win season, but
Yeah, something like that.
that defense is still stacked. They lost some pieces, but
Dude, the Ravens secondary, in my opinion, is probably the best in the NFL on paper.
Earl Thomas low-key might be one of the best signings of the offseason.
Yeah, I think it was a great signing.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I wonder
anything
how
to
much
talk
Ingram
about.
has left in the tank, but honestly, he's not going to have to because Lamar's going to take a lot of eyes.
I mean,
they're
plus
going to have a spy on him every single play. And
absolutely. And when
they're not going to
running
be able
it
to
out,
stack the box like that.
we have Greg Roman, an offensive coordinator, who rocked with Colin Kaepernick
Yeah.
in San Francisco when they made the Super Bowl, and they had a lot of really sneaky plays out of the pistol with Kaepernick and Frank Gore. And the Ravens have Mark Ingram, they have Gus Edwards. You know, I think that there's a lot of potential there for some explosive running game, plus all the tight ends thrown down. But dude, it's going to be sick. I'm really excited to watch the Ravens run game this year.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I agree.
And speaking of which, I heard y'all are over there stashing kickers, like all-pro kickers on your practice, trying to get them on the practice squad.
Well, yeah, the Kari Vedvik got jumped last year, man. That was a very unfortunate
Oh,
story.
yeah, I
honestly.
didn't.
It was like,
Oh, no, that was very sad.
he's a talented guy. He was talented in college. I believe he's a Norwegian soccer player. So I think if the Ravens could get a 6th-round pick or something like that from the Bears, I know the Bears need a kicker, so that would be beneficial for both of us.
Just being a West Virginia boy, you just gotta love that he's from Marshall. I mean, I know you're not from West Virginia, but I mean, I was born and raised in West Virginia, and I mean, it's always cool to see Marshall players get some kind of love.
Yeah, that is cool. I mean, even though I'm not from West Virginia, I got a lot of love for West Virginia. So seeing that's really cool.
Yeah, I was watching this tape earlier, and I was just drooling over the kid's leg strength. I was like, ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen. I've seen leg strength like that before, but I mean, consistently, that's hard to find.
Yeah, I feel it.
Hey, this is Mark the Bleacher Shark, and I'm here with Seth Smorgasbord. Say that 3 times fast. Seth's Smorgasbord of Sports. Watch it. Let's go.